OK, could I ask you very briefly about hate crime legislation? You've managed to unite the Rural Independents and the Irish Council of Civil Liberties in saying that your legislation is a threat to free speech. That's some achievement.
I'll be honest, I think there's a lot of misinformation about this legislation. And if I could tell you exactly what this legislation is intended to do and what it's not, and particularly what it's not, this legislation, firstly, will ensure that we catch up with the rest of Europe. We currently do not have hate crime legislation. So where a crime, so somebody's assaulted, property is attacked, where it's motivated by hate, we do not have that on our statute as an aggravating factor.
But your legislation doesn't define hate.
No other country in Europe defines it.
No other country in Europe is a common law country where judges make law.
No other country defines it. And currently we have incitement legislation where hate is not defined, and it is not a problem. So the incitement piece, the hate crime piece, we don't have. We need it. We need to acknowledge that crimes motivated by hate is an aggravating factor. When it comes to the incitement to hatred, which is the hate speech, we have laws from 1989. We don't define it in that law. It's never been a problem. What we don't do in that law, though, is acknowledge that we now live in a digital world. What this legislation doesn't do, and I have to be clear, it will not criminalise people's opinions. And that's a lot of the misinformation that's been put out there. People
can have opinions. So is the Irish Council of Civil Liberties guilty of misinformation on this?
Well, I can't be clearer than this. This will not criminalise people's opinions. You can have an opinion, you can express that opinion, you can say it clearly. As much as another person might not like it, as much as they might be offended by it, you will not be criminalised for having that opinion. And I can't be clearer than that. That is not the intention behind the bill, and that's not what the bill says.
That is very clear. Are you clear that you are going to still be Minister for Justice in 2 weeks' time?
Well, look, we will have a new incoming Taoiseach in less than 2 weeks. It's always a prerogative for any minister to choose their cabinet, and I'm sure Simon will make that right decision in the weeks ahead.
Do you have a preference?
I've made no secret of the fact that I have a busy agenda in justice. I've done a lot of work, everything from supporting our Gardaí to dealing with domestic violence. There's a lot more to do, as we've seen with this migration pact this evening.
That's a yes then, I take it. Helen McEntee, Minister for Justice, thanks indeed for joining us.